Let me introduce you to my audience. 1 in 8 U.S. couples of childbearing age are diagnosed with infertility, but their struggles are often kept in the dark. For women and men who are trying to start a family but having difficulty, there is little-known option available, embryo donation. Joining us this morning to give us some insight on his own experience with fertility issues and to share information about a little-known option for couples is The Apprentice Season 1 winner and co-star of Juliana and Bill Rancic. All right, Bill. Good morning. I'm glad you could speak with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
What exactly is embryo donation?
Well, that's a great question. And an embryo donation is an alternative for couples who are struggling with infertility. And you brought up quite an alarming number. 1 in 8 couples in the U.S. is suffering from this. So what embryo donation really is it's a byproduct of the IVF process. And IVF stands for in vitro fertilization. And what occurs is when couples go through IVF, oftentimes they have surplus embryos that are frozen. And what that couple can do is they can donate those embryos to another couple who's having trouble or cannot produce embryos on their own, and really give them one of the most amazing gifts that one person can give to another person. And when it works, it's a fabulous outcome, and it's very magical.
So it's similar to an adoption pre-birth, correct?
Well, no, I mean, it's not. Yes and no. There are some similarities, but this is really a medical procedure, whereas an adoption is somewhat of a legal procedure. The couple is actually carrying the embryo themselves, so they're having that experience, and they're birthing the baby themselves. So it is different in many capacities. Where adoption, it's more of a legal process. This is a medical process.
So a couple who cannot conceive on their own, what would be their procedure? How would they go about doing this?
First and foremost, anyone who's having trouble, my advice is you got to go talk to a specialist. You go talk to a doctor. And in this particular scenario with embryo donation, oftentimes it's an arrangement where the doctor can help facilitate that process.
And could you share your experience with us about infertility?
Well, we've been on the journey. We've had trouble conceiving, and then we started with the IVF process, and unfortunately haven't had success just yet. But we're optimistic, and we know that we will have success. And there's so many great doctors out there and scientists out there doing fabulous work, and we've just really dedicated ourselves to helping other couples and letting other couples know that, hey, don't suffer alone. Don't suffer in silence, and arm yourselves with knowledge. And we found a great website called mydestinationfamily.org. And for anyone out there who's going through this is a website that gives you a little bit of help when you're navigating your way through this. Because, again, so many people suffer in silence because there's that stigma that's attached to infertility. And you don't have to. You want to make sure that you talk to people and you get good, sound advice.
That's a very good suggestion for building a community and making sure that you reach out to other people. Bill, this is a sensitive and often painful topic.
Yeah.
In addition to this, do you have any advice that you could share with others, something you've learned from your own experience?
Well, for us, it's very important that you have to stay together. And I've seen a lot of other couples now that we've become advocates in this arena where one person is pointing the finger at the other spouse. And that's the worst thing that you can do. It takes two to tango. And you have to say, hey, we're in this together. We're going to fight through this thing together. And those are the couples that usually have the best rate of success. And there's an old saying, tough times don't last, but tough people do. And you got to be tough, and you can't quit, because there's a lot of people out there who can help you and want to make sure that you can start a family.
Thank you very much for sharing, Bill.
Thank you.